Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 podcast. I'm Hugh. I've got Dara here with me, as always, for the City versus Wolves preview. We're going for 21 wins in a row. We're 20 now. Confidence should be high. We've only got 2 days break since we played against West Ham. Tuesday evening game, not ideal, but nevertheless, we do need the 3 points because it all adds up. Dara, what are your thoughts going into the game?
Yeah, we're still on our winning run. It's like you said, we're on to 20 now. I don't know why it'll stop here. We're in good form. Wolves have been a bit hit and miss this season. I can't see why it'll end now.
Yeah, me neither. Wolves were a bogey team for us at one stage last season, but we're a completely different beast this season to what we were last season. Completely different beast. We're winning dirty. We're winning well. And to be honest, we've won our last 2 Premier League games kind of like dirty. You know, they weren't the nice performances. To use Pep's quote, we weren't painting a beautiful picture. We were just getting the 3 points. So I think we're due one of those kind of like, nice, neat performances. Maybe a 3-0 or a 4-0, but who knows? He's got a lot of questions to answer in his own head, Mr. Guardiola, at the moment, which is probably the 2 main ones are the defense and the attack. The midfield kind of speaks for itself. Very similar faces there all the time. Rodri, Gundo, the sus. But in terms of defense, the back 4, there's so many fantastic options. And when looking at the opposition, Pep has to decide each week who are the best options. So in terms of right back and centre halves, and left back, actually, of course, the whole lot. What's your ideal back 4?
My ideal back 4 now, this is kind of disregarding United for a minute. But the best back 4 we have is the Cancelo, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko. But I think me and you are kind of out in agreement. He probably won't go for that against Wolves with United in mind and also with their attack in mind. That would be the best one, disregarding matches we have coming up. But I don't know if you agree with that. But this game, I think, is set up with a Walker. Set up with a Walker, Laporte, Diaz, and then Cancelo, in my opinion, just to try and combat their attackers.
And you want to save the prized asset of the team, John Stones, for the big one on the weekend, don't you?
Of course. He's the best footballer I've ever seen. I don't know why we'd risk him in this kind of match.
He's the best centre-half and the best striker in the league. You seen his goal the other day. Do you know what I mean? We need that. We need that against United next week. It was a screamer. But also Zinchenko, who's been doing very well this season. I think you have to hand it to him. He's been at least a 7 out of 10 for pretty well every game. But am I right in saying that he had a bit of a tough time with Adama last season?
I think when we lost against him, I think it was on Stephen's Day. I think it was Mendy who kind of had a nightmare against him. I think Mendy was playing. He was playing at least one game. I'm not sure what the second one, but he was awful. So maybe even if you want to go with Laporte at left back, but I can't see why you do that with the derby in mind. I don't know why you play 3 centre backs. But go on.
With the derby, it will 100% be like a Cancelo right back, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko wanted. Yeah. So maybe shake it up for the Wolves game and give some of the players a rest. But in terms of rest and players coming back, etc., the attack is the next talking point. Aguero did start against West Ham. He wasn't at his best, obviously, for a number of reasons. He's not fully fit by any means. He's not got enough game time. And also, the service wasn't good enough. West Ham are really compact at the back. We spoke about this in the review. He just didn't have many opportunities. He got one really at the near post when De Bruyne went around the back and cut it back. But really not much. Jesus is the other option to play as a striker. But I assume you're on the same page as me that you would prefer to go back to that false 9 system, which has worked so well for us this season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think in the game, especially against Chelsea, that springs to mind straight away. De Bruyne played more of a false 9 then. He was brilliant. I think if we play him there, even though it should be a less familiar role to him, I think he'll play a lot better because he'll have the midfield supporting him, he'll have the winger supporting him. I think if we go with that, I wouldn't be unconfident. I wouldn't be scared if we played with a striker, but I'd prefer for a false 9 lineup, especially if he wants to save either Aguero or Jesus for United.
Yes, exactly. Why fix something that's not broken? We've got to 20 wins in a row now. We've got 27 unbeaten. Using this same system, you can chop and change who plays the false 9. But on the De Bruyne topic, he played against West Ham. He got a great assist with his left foot. De Bruyne masterclass that assist was. It's typically what you'd expect from him. But his overall play wasn't fantastic. Will that hinder your choice in starting him against Wolves at all? Or would you maybe give him a bit of time and then look towards a big performance in United?
Well, I think he's been out. He was out for 4 to 6 weeks. I'm not 100% sure, but he came.
He's still
not
fully fit. You have to remember.
No. He I think the best thing you can do for him at the minute is play him. But like he can sit in the false nine. He'll drop out wide to ping in crosses as well. Like I think give him this kind of game, he'll come into it, and then he'll look like the more he plays, the better he'll look. And if he plays this game, I think he'll look a lot better against United. Whether he gets 90 against Wolves or 60.
Yeah, 100%. I would take just another Arsenal type performance, another West Ham type performance against Wolves. Just get the 3 points and move on to a massive one against United. I really want a big shift against United. Just to prove the difference.
This is in the front of our mind because it's in a chill.
Mind the gap.
As soon as we get by this, we'll completely forget about this. Like this match is it's an in between. This is where United is a big one. I think we're all looking forward to that.
Yeah, 100%. This is just another barrier in the road. Just got to get over it and move on to the big one because actually we're going to put our full predicted 11 on the screen now just so you guys can have a look at it. And of course, as always, leave your comments down below on what you think the starting 11 for this game should be, bearing in mind the Manchester Derby in the weekend. But the topic I want to talk about now, just to kind of finish it off, is if we were to beat Wolves and of course to beat United on the weekend, that first of all puts us 15 clear of United in second place. I know it's not mathematically
providing they win midweek, we're 15 clear. I think they're playing midweek. Yeah. Providing they win midweek, we are 15 clear. It could even be 18. You never know.
Well, let's just do it on the basis that they do win midweek.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, they do win midweek. If we're to beat Wolves and beat Man United on the weekend, I think that's it. El Rapo, it's done. It's obviously not mathematically done, but I think it is done by then. Do you think so?
I think it's done already, to be honest. But for the sake of an argument, I think it will 100% be finished once we beat. Well, if we beat this, but I'm in the camp that it should be signed, sealed, and collected by now. You know what I mean?
Signed, sealed, delivered, finished. See, I want to get this out of the way. I want to get the Premier League. It's as good as one right now. I can't see us slipping up, dropping 12 points, and someone catching us. Because I think even forget about our game at Man United on the weekend. I think they'll drop more points, but we'll talk about them.
Even the teams around us. There's not going to be a team around us, regardless of if they play us or not. There's not going to be a team around us that go 100% for the rest of the season. Because Leicester, like I watched Leicester earlier, they had 2 players limp off. You know what I mean? One actually got stretchered off.
Well, there you go. This City team is built different, man. They're a different beast to anything we've possibly seen before. And hopefully the silverware, which we will, fingers crossed, get at the end of the season, will show that. Yeah. But I want to get this Premier League finished, done out of the way. And this kind of Wolves game we've got on Tuesday now, it's just one of those hurdles. You just got to get over it. You just got to get the opposition out of the way. Win dirty, win well. Do what needs to be done. And then move on to United, hopefully win that. And just wrap it up so we can focus on the one that's eluded us the most, which is the Champions League. But we'll talk about the United game more in our preview. We'll talk about Champions League more in probably next week's podcast. And, of course, when the preview for the next leg of the Gladbach game comes up. But before we finish up, of course, we want to get the score predictions. I'm going to start myself this time. And I'm going to say a 3-1 City. Actually, no, cancel that. 3-0 City. I think everyone's going to put in a massive shift because they all want to start against United on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's one of those games. It's like when we played against, who was it? Before we played Gladbach. Was it Arsenal? And everyone was trying really hard to get in that starting 11 for the Gladbach game. Everyone wants to play in the big games, basically. And United's the big game. This is the precursor. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go 2-0. I think we're like you said, everyone's gonna want to put in a shift. But even though they've been poor this season, Wolves, they're not going to be the biggest pushover in the league. So I think it'll be a serviceable 2-0 win. But I think there will be a couple of players who will stand out moments.
Listen, they have players who can put pressure on us.
Exactly.
Maybe create something. But I just think, bearing in mind United on the weekend, our players going to want to put on a shift. Blah blah blah. Hopefully they play well and we get the win. It's just a hurdle. Just got to get over it. Beat Wolves and move on to the big one. But before we wrap up, I want to say, first of all, a massive thanks to everyone who has subscribed. We've hit our 125 subscriber target. The next one's 150. So fingers crossed we can make that at some stage. If you would help us on that, it would be massively appreciated. Leave a like as well so other people can maybe join the community. And we've also recently started up Hugh and Dara's Thursday night takeaways, where we're just going to talk about the recent week in football. We might actually have a takeaway this week. So if you watch Thursday's episode...
I will if it's any use. Yeah, I'm going to make sure we do.
He loves a good takeaway. Anyway, next week we'll leave a link for that as well. And
join
the
Discord.
Discord, there's a link for that below if you want to come in and talk all things City and help us with our player ratings and printed lineups, etc., etc. Leave a like, do subscribe. Thanks a million for watching, and we'll see you hopefully after a win against Wolves. Peace.